Okay, let me take you through some of the features of the new Power-Ped Legato and Maestro products. The Maestro and the Legato are a product range that we've come up with as a result of nearly 15 years of developing electric bike products for the local Australian market. And so what we've done here today, or what we've done with this particular bike, is developed a step-through bike that is both functional, stylish and incredibly strong. One of the key things about doing step-throughs is the fact that you do not have, of course, a bar that runs between the steerer tube and the seat post tube at the top of the frame like a normal diamond frame. So you really have to be very, very conscious of strengthening up the front section of the bike because you only have limited contact with the forces that come through the steerer tube. So what we've done with this is done a double tube, a down tube that runs down to the bottom bracket, and another tube that runs through in a mixie style frame past the seat post tube, welded against the seat post tube, and then back to the seat post stay tube. So with all of this structure and the triangulation in there, it makes for an incredibly strong frame. This particular frame, we're doing it in two sizes. So we're doing a 700C wheel product and a 26-inch wheel product. The 26-inch wheel product obviously will be for the shorter stature riders, and the 700C product will have the benefits of the bigger wheel, etc., and for a slightly taller rider, be it male or female. Some of the other attributes of the product are, I'll just take you through some really nice, comfortable, ergonomic hand grips here, an 8-speed Nexus internal hub gear system.
Sorry, what's an internal hub?
Yeah, so the internal hub, as opposed to a derailleur, means that you can pre-select your gears rather than having to pedal and do your gears. So with a normal cluster system, you have to be pedaling to change your gears. With a hub gear, you just pre-select it, so you can pull up at a set of lights. You've been in 8th gear going down a hill, and you pull up a set of lights to go up a hill, or start off again. You can go straight back to first, second, or third, whatever you like. So that's really good. We also have a nice, comfortable suspension seat post and a really nice ergonomic Velo saddle.
Right. And how would you adjust that for height?
So the seat post height is just with a quick release, just like any other seat post. Okay. On the bottom of the saddle, you can adjust, or the seat post, you can adjust the preload to make it softer or harder for the suspension. Some people like to adjust that. The bike comes with a carry rack on the rear, nice strong carry rack, and an elasticized kind of Oki strap tie down. These are really handy for just putting your jacket or a few other things underneath that and strapped to the top of the bike. The bike also comes with front and rear LED lights, which, as you can see, can be just turned on with a button on the back there, and the same on the front. There's also a little button there. You can have it flashing or solid or off. The handlebars are fully adjustable, so you can actually adjust this to the perfect rake or height that you want for your setup or for another rider. You might have a couple of people using this bike, or in the case where you might have it in a higher situation, you can quickly adjust it to the height or the size or the preference of the rider rather than having to get tools out. So it's basically a toolless adjustment on the handlebar and head stem. So that's really handy. So you just lock that in place, right, and all done. Tyres, we're using the Maxxis Overdrive tyres, which are a puncture resistant tyre, and these are right up there with the Schwalbe tyres, etc. It's a good tyre choice. We use a Bafang geared brushless motor, and we've been using these motors for many, many years now, and they've been very much trouble-free, so we're really happy with those, and they've got a really good reputation, and we carry all the spare parts for them. So reliability is key. We're also using, just for a bit of extra comfort, a monoshock RST fork, and that works really well. Just takes some of the bumps out. It's not a downhill mountain bike fork, but it certainly does the job on a sort of city bike like this. One of the key things that we should mention about the electronics of the bike is that we use Panasonic batteries in our battery. So the battery inside the case here is full of Panasonic cells. They're the best you can get for electric bikes and or any other format that uses the 18650 cells. Panasonic cells are the same as what they use in Tesla products, etc., etc. They're way more expensive than the cheaper Chinese cells. These are Japanese-made cells, and they have a great reputation, very reliable, and the best battery you can get. We do a few different battery sizes on this. In this case, it's an 11 amp hour battery. You can test the battery function just by pushing the little button on the rear there, and that will tell you what the status of the battery is from empty through to 100%.
Right.
The bike also
And
comes...
what sort of range would you get out of that battery?
look, depending on what settings you use on the controller, which we'll have a look in a minute, you could get anywhere up to 80 kilometres out of it. We'll go to the controller now. So here, or the heads-up display, if you like, there are several different pedal assist functions. You'll see here at 0 through to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At its highest is the boost function. That's obviously for really steep conditions, or where you want to go a little bit quicker with less effort. Of course, you use more power that way. We'd recommend that most of the time you just run it on something like Tour. It's more than adequate. And the less of the number, the further you go. Obviously on Eco you'll get your maximum range.
Right.
There are lots of different functions with this. There are trip meters on it that you can have a look at your average speed or your maximum speed, an odometer to see the total distance, trip meter, time, and your actual speed.
Right. So you come off at the end of a ride
And check how far
for
you've gone.
the stats of people amongst us, we could sit
Yeah,
there
you
and
could see how far
work
you've run.
out
So
over-
for example, if you press this, you could look at your average speed for the ride you've just done, and here you could see your maximum speed that you've just done, and here's your odometer, so you see how far the bike's travelled in its life. And trip is, you can start that off, say you're doing a fresh ride for the day, you can see how far you've just been for that time, and then you can just reset that after every ride.
Okay, good.
So it's got lots of functions on there, or just the things that you need. It's easy to change on the fly, the up and down, your power function. You don't have to really take your hands off the handlebars to do it. It's nice and easy.
Good.
We use an integrated bell system on it, so rather than having a separate bell, it's built into the actual brake lever. Really nice and ergonomic. So again, you're not taking a hand off the handlebar for any reason. It's built in. They're good quality Tektro levers.
Good.
There's a drink bottle cage mount located here. We've put that nice and high up on the down tube so that you're not interfering when you step through the bike. So your bottle cage can sit up nice and high.
Okay.
But the bike overall is designed for a comfortable city ride, to ride all day,
Yeah.
to do all the rail trails and infrastructure that's around the place these days that allows you to use a bike like this just dressed the way that you want to go out rather than in Lycra. And the other version, which is the diamond frame version, which is called a Maestro,
Yeah.
is exactly the same in its features and benefits.
That's the ones
Something
over there.
similar, yeah.
Just got a bar.
Similar, yeah. So it has the bar across the top.
Yeah.
It has a bit more of a sporty feel to it. It's a flat bar kind of road bike style, whereas this is more of an upright sitting city bike, but a step through. And many people, male or female, like the step through because it's just easy to get on and off.
Yeah.
And that's the really big feature of these bikes. So as I said before, they come in two frame sizes. One is a 700C product, and one is a 26-inch wheel product. The advantage of the 26-inch wheel, if you're a slightly smaller stature person, is it's a much lower seat height. It's probably 70 mils lower than this product. However, if you can handle the 700C size, of course, the rolling resistance advantages of a 700C outweigh a 26-inch for obvious reasons. So, you've got the choice. They come in a red, a matte white, the black that you see here. They look really, really good, and they're, again, backed up by a lot of knowledge and experience in the electric bike industry. As you know, we do a lot of work with Australia Post. In fact, we've got the biggest fleet in the southern hemisphere of bikes that you can see here. There are nearly 1,700 of these in various formats running around delivering mail each and every day. So we really do understand what we need to do to build a bike.
And yet, like, you could maintain the bikes as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of the parts on these bikes we carry as spares in stock, and any tech support that, whether it's a dealer or an individual consumer need, they can just call up and we'll help them out.
Good. And could you explain the locking mechanism for security?
Yeah, we use a bus German lock, which simply locks in place like so.
It just runs through the wheel.
Yeah, so it just runs through the wheel here. This is very common in city bikes around the world, mainly in the European area, but now they're very common here. So you can just lock your bike up. You can't move the bike without severely damaging it. It's just a fail-safe mechanism. You can also get a cable lock that plugs into the other side here to wrap around a pole or a fixed object to stop people stealing it. And to unlock it, you just simply turn your key and it unlocks itself. Yep. So, in summary, these two bikes are stylish, functional, really strong, practical, good value electric bikes, backed up by a company that's been in this business for nearly 15 years. And, you know, they come in a couple of sizes and a few different colours, and we think they represent really good value for the consumer and or a business that's looking for a small fleet of bikes to rent out to guests or customers or whatever it might be, B&Bs, wineries, small boutique hotels, all that sort of stuff. So if you've got any more questions, please feel free to give us a call and we'll be happy to answer whatever you ask.
Excellent. Thank you, Scott.
No worries.